Each of us had an individual kind of ministry of our own, and mine was called Acts of Kindness.
Okay.
And so he took all of us as a team and put us under one umbrella, Restoration Road, and we all do a little bit of different things, but it all really works together.
So you had your own ministry before you went on with Restoration Road.
Yes, I didn't really know it was a ministry. I was just doing what God called me to do.
That's the perfect ministry, though.
It is. And there was something there he was leading me to.
Yeah.
And 5 years later, I'm still doing it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Community Spotlight. I'm Paramedic Ron with WAME Radio, and today we have Denise in with us.
Thank you.
And Denise is going to tell us a little bit about, was it Restoration?
It's Acts of Kindness under Restoration Road Ministries.
Okay. I saw the card that Misty brought back for me from the women's meeting that y'all had.
Yes.
And I was like, "Ooh, this sounds interesting. I want to find out more about this."
Well, thank you.
And what we do here on Community Spotlight is highlight things that are helping our community.
Wonderful.
So, and it sounds like y'all have an awesome project.
We do.
So,
it's a big project.
Yeah.
But Restoration Road is a ministry started by Rob Harris about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Each of us had an individual kind of ministry of our own, and mine was called Acts of Kindness.
Okay.
And so he took all of us as a team and put us under one umbrella, Restoration Road, and we all do a little bit of different things, but it all really works together.
Okay.
So we do housing, help in families who are experiencing homelessness in motels. We have a feeding ministry. We have a children's ministry, which Janet's going to talk about those things. We have a recovery ministry, which is called Salty Sweet.
Oh.
So each person he brought under his umbrella. He's our executive director, and that's how we all got together.
That's awesome. So tell me about how you actually started your program, the Acts of Kindness.
I started working at Brookwood Inn.
Okay.
About 10 years ago.
Which is no longer there.
No longer
anymore.
there. It was just a temporary thing. I was just figuring out things out. Okay?
Right. Now, whenever you said working at, you were physically working at that place, right?
Yes, I became the manager. I did not intend to stay here. I did not intend to do this.
Right.
God had other plans for me.
That's usually the way it
That's
happens.
exactly what happened. Way out of my comfort zone. But I did not know that families lived in motels.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that was an issue. I also realized that it was not a safe place for families or children. And God intervened in every step of this program. The owner, Meena Patel, was one of the owners.
Okay.
She allowed me to do a little bit of remodeling, not a lot, just what we could afford. Small things. And to clean it up.
Okay.
To stop renting to certain people.
So you are the one that was responsible for getting it to looking a little bit better than before it got tore down.
Yes.
Okay.
So and then I met a lady named Tanya Reed. Now at the time, she was the head of the McKinney-Vento program here in Iredell County.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Okay, that is a program for homeless children.
Yeah.
Our children living in transition or homelessness. She came in and met me, and she brought all her families from various motels to Brookwood Inn.
Okay.
So we had them all we had them all under one roof, okay? And then I just wanted to help them experience some happiness there, not to always see that in their mind as a terrible experience.
You didn't want them looking at themselves as, I'm a problem.
No.
Yeah, I see that. I like that.
So I started having Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners and giving Christmas presents and Easter egg hunts, birthday parties, cookouts, and other churches joined me. Western Avenue Baptist Church joined me, and we had community cookouts and Bible studies. And another church came in and did Bible studies, or we did Bible studies. So we just started to make it more of a family environment.
Right.
And that's what started it. Now, when families live in motels, it's expensive. It's not cheap. And there's
even whenever you do like the weekly thing, it still gets pricey.
Yeah. And so there were times when they needed to be bridged. Emergencies would come up, or I'd have a single mother, or something would happen that they needed some help. So I would raise money to bridge them over a week or 2 weeks, whatever they happen to need.
Okay.
Help with car repairs, food boxes, clothing, whatever the need was that came up. That's what
You'd help
we
them
would
with it.
do. Yes, and I developed relationships in the community. And Rob Harris is one of those people who came there to meet me, and he started coming
Okay.
to Brookwood Inn, and he started giving me resources and places to go and meeting needs.
Helping you to provide those services that you didn't have access to
Yes.
before.
Like
He helped bridge that.
partners. Like we got in touch with partners and learned what they do and how we could refer people to them.
Okay.
Just different places, addiction counseling or CR, Celebrate Recovery.
Okay.
So just all collaborated together. And Janet, who's going to speak to you, started delivering meals there.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, so every Sunday she delivered hot meals, and she just
Oh, so this wasn't like boxed things
No,
that's
she
like
cooked
canned
it.
and stuff. This
She
was like
cooked
home
it.
cooked stuff.
Yes. And we still do that today, which she'll talk about that. I want to take her
Yeah, no.
her topic. And so it just evolved. Well, as you know, Brookwood Inn closed last year. We had 1 month to relocate 23 families
Wow.
into housing. And that was done. United Way helped.
I remember there was
Yeah.
a lot of people that were coming together
They
to kind
did.
of get everybody situated where they needed to be
They did.
situated.
We talked to landlords, and they were almost all of them were completely moved into a home.
That's
But
awesome.
We did that a little bit backwards because we only had a month.
Right.
Normally, we would do rent readiness and budgeting.
And what is rent readiness? What does
Well,
that mean?
to learn what it means to rent a home, to
Okay.
learn what the landlord expects, to read your lease, to understand what can keep you there or what can get you evicted.
Right.
So to learn and understand those things.
What you need to do as
What
a
you-
renter
yes, your
to
responsibility
be responsible.
Yes, and budgeting. So
Which everybody needs to know.
That's right. So we had to kind of go backwards. We did the cart before the horse.
Right.
So after they got in, Janet and I started to work with them on those things, the ones that needed the help.
Okay.
Some did not, but the ones that did.
Some had
She-
the understanding and some
Yes.
didn't.
To ensure they had stability and did not get evicted from there.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what we did.
Now, these that you were working with, were they like families with kids, or were they some of them just like couples, or
They were
what?
families with children. We
Okay.
concentrate on families with children. Now,
Okay.
we'll help anybody. I have single individuals we help right now also.
Awesome.
But we focus on families with children.
That's cool.
Because children, this is a lot of trauma for them to go
Oh, yeah.
through, and we don't want to pass that trauma down to them.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
just to help their families stay together, make positive decisions, and move forward. They had an opportunity they were not going to get again. They didn't have to pay to move in.
Okay.
Okay, so we helped them with
So y'all-
deposits, first
Yeah.
month's rent, all of that. Restoration Road paid all the pet fees because we didn't want anybody to have to get rid of their pets.
Right.
So we helped them. That was an opportunity they wouldn't have again. If they lost a home, they wouldn't be able to get that again.
Right, because they're going to have to pay that deposit. They're going to have
Yes.
to pay that pet fee.
Yes.
They're going to have to
Yes.
pay first and last month's rent most of the
They
most
would.
places. So
And Brookwood Inn's closing at first seemed like a little bit of a tragedy,
right,
but it was actually a mixed blessing. It gave them that opportunity that they would not otherwise have had, and it would have taken them longer to move
Right.
out. Yeah.
well, and that this kind of helps me understand because we've wondered what happened to some of those families, well, to all those families that were over there, and you're kind of giving us that that follow up of they're not in the homeless shelters, they're not
No.
in transitional housing anymore.
No.
They're actually in a home now.
They are. Now, there are some that did end up in transitional housing.
Okay,
There were just obstacles that could not be overcome that quickly.
right,
And we are working with those families. Not many, but we are working with them.
but still,
But see, new families have come up. They weren't the only ones in Statesville with children in transitional housing. Well, they tore down two of the most affordable motels. That was Masters Inn, Brookwood Inn.
right,
That leaves us with one, and
yeah,
that's Hallmark Inn. So that's kind of our new mission field, is we concentrate on them, and there's more children there.
I've seen because
Yes.
the way I go home is that way, and it scares me sometimes because those kids are, especially during the summertime, are out there on that little grass area between the road and the parking lot, and I've seen them playing with balls and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, please. My paramedic background is like, please don't chase the ball out in the middle of the road.
No, it's not a safe environment for
Yeah.
them. There is a yard area, but it's been gated off for
Right.
the people who live, the owners.
Okay.
So there's no place for them to play.
Yeah.
It's somewhat depressing. So we're working with them right now to build hope, build resiliency.
Good.
Help them get through trauma, give them the places they need to go, the resources. Walk with them. We are
Right.
their support system. We're not there to tell them what to do.
Exactly.
We're there to make a plan with them that is their plan that we can walk through with them.
Let's see how we can work together
Yes.
to get this done.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we have had 2 families in the last month move out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have one that's here in Crossville. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Here in Statesville. She has 4 children, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
They moved into a home, and right now it's like for her. She needs high chairs and walker and a pack and play.
Right.
She needs a little table for her children to eat at because they're running around and she can't cook safely, do anything safely. So right now we're looking for those things.
Okay.
Everything we do goes by donations. We are nonprofit. We take just strictly donations, private donations.
So 501, what is it?
Yeah,
501c3?
501c3,
Okay.
yes.
I always mix it up. I
We
can't remember
are.
if it's 3C or C3.
And we're not, and we don't get paid. We are volunteers.
Okay.
But we have, Janet and I both continued an education. We work with partners. They have training classes on trauma,
Oh, yeah.
addiction, working with children. We work in our peer certification. And I've gone back to school to finish a human resources degree.
Awesome.
Not that I'll use it to work. I will use it to better help me
to understand.
serve these families. Yes.
And whenever you're talking about partners, you're talking about Partners Behavioral Health.
Yes, Partners
which,
Behavioral Health.
Which we love here.
Yes.
They've come on quite a few times.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
And they work quite closely with DACI.
Yes, they
the
do.
Drug and Alcohol Coalition
Yes.
of Iredell.
Yes.
And that's kind of what led me and Misty to kind of doing
Mm-hmm.
all this, because we went to the I can't remember what they called it. It was the program they had just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, we went to it.
At the Civic Center.
Uh-huh.
So, or the Event Center. Sorry,
Yes.
Sorry for downtown Statesville. That's the
Yes.
Event Center. I know better.
I know.
So they're great people. Great.
They
people.
really are. Terry Blankenship, who,
Oh, yeah.
okay, she's a part of our board
Okay.
and a part of our team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I know Terry from working at Iredell County EMS.
Okay, so in the EMS, community
Yeah.
response.
Oh, yeah.
Cameron Horn.
Yep.
Muncie,
Cameron's a
I
good
don't
friend
know
of mine.
his whole name.
Todd Muncie.
Yes.
Muncie was actually everybody calls him Muncie, so
Yeah.
don't feel bad. If you say Muncie, they know who he's talking about. He was actually my preceptor whenever I was going through
Okay.
paramedic school.
So they're
So-
currently working with a gentleman that we found living in his car.
Okay.
He's 68 years old. He had numerous health issues. His legs were horribly swollen from sitting in the car. So he can't walk very well. He's got open sores. So Muncie and Cameron are helping us work with him. We put him at the Hallmark.
Okay.
Made sure he had food and everything. We go check on him. Got his medications. They're working with him to try to get into some sort of skilled nursing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you guys are you're not just helping people, but you are helping things in the long run, because him being in his car, having the health issues, not having access to the health care that he needs, you're getting involved in the fact that there's people who call 911 all the time,
Yes.
constantly. And I don't know if that person is one of them or not.
He was.
but
He went 4 times in 1 week.
okay, so that's something that's a stress on the emergency system. And not saying he's a problem,
No.
but I'm just saying that y'all are working to help those things so that it not only helps that person, but it's helping things other than just that person. It's helping knock down the calls.
Yes.
It's helping relieve the stress of the EMS personnel. They're getting the involvement that they need as far as the community response team. He's getting the help that he needs. So it's a whole
Team.
chain.
It is. It's a whole chain. And the services we want to do, the partnership with these families and these people is a long-term solution.
Right.
Not putting a Band-Aid on it and just, okay, go on. It's a long-term. We want them to succeed. We want them to grow and become independent or like him, get to where he needs to be taken care
Right.
of. Yeah.
Because not everybody can be independent like that.
No.
Sometimes they need that skilled nursing, like you were
They
saying.
do, yes.
So,
So anybody that calls, anybody we hear from, we'll help. And 9 times out of 10, when they call us, we're the last people on the list. They've tried everything, and then they heard about us, and we're it. There's no one left to help. They burned bridges
Right.
with their families and just various things, and they have nobody to turn to.
So while we're on that subject, so what is a good phone number or good contact for them to get in touch with you?
Okay, so if you go to Restoration Road website, you can go on there.
Okay.
Or I have a Facebook page called Acts of Kindness.
Okay.
And my phone number is on there.
Okay.
And they can get in touch with me or email me.
Restoration Road, they can just search that on Google?
Yes.
Okay.
Just Restoration Road Ministries. Yes.
And probably put Restoration Road Statesville maybe.
Yes.
Just to
And it'll-
lower it down a little bit more.
Yeah, and it'll bring you right to it. And then you can go there to make donations also.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was going to be one of my next questions.
That's where
was,
you can go. It's on there to make donations.
Okay,
yes.
and I know you said something about with the lady earlier. She needs some stuff as far as like pack and play and stuff like
2 high
that.
chairs because she has a 1 and a 2-year-old.
Okay,
A walker.
okay.
And pack and play.
And whenever we're talking about walkers, we're talking about the little kids walkers,
Yes.
not the adult walkers.
Not the I'm sorry, yeah, the baby walker. Yeah, so that her children can roam around. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and she can cook safely.
yeah,
Yes.
and not have to worry about them getting into something.
Yes, or getting out the door.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I know very well how easily that can happen.
They can. And there's a Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
They make beds or give beds to children that are moving into new homes.
Oh, okay.
So they gave her children beds. They're
That's
a wonderful
awesome.
organization.
Are they here in Statesville?
Yes, they are. You just
might
look
have
up
to have
Sleep in
them on.
Heavenly Peace, and you register, you apply for a bed, and they bring the bed to you.
Cool.
Yeah, bedding and everything.
That's awesome.
I know it.
Now I know you sent me some stuff earlier.
I did.
You had some things going on coming up, right? Let's see. It was I think what I saw was the Binks Family Fun Run.
Binks Family
Is that
Fun
right?
Run. Yes, that's something that Rob got involved with about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And they started that because in honor of their son Travis, and he died of an overdose.
Okay.
And they want to bring awareness to drug addiction, overdose, and they have been instrumental in our obtaining our 2 houses, our 2 transitional houses.
Okay.
One's for women and one's for men. The women's just opened.
Okay.
They're transitional housing that they can live in as long as they need to, and there is a rent, but if they can't pay it, we work with
They
them.
cover. They,
Yeah, they're
they
covered.
find ways to cover it.
Yes, and they're welcome there as long as they want to be.
And let's talk about whenever you talk about transitional housing, and I know a little bit about transitional housing because of working in EMS. What is transitional housing?
Well, it's a place for them to go for recovery or after recovery. They're in recovery. They're in active recovery.
Right.
So it's a transition to reintegrate them into the community.
Okay.
To learn to live on their own. But they can stay there. A lot of them, you have only a certain amount of time.
Right.
They can stay as long as they need to stay.
I think a lot of them are like 6 months to a
Yeah.
year or something like that.
And they can stay as long as they need to stay.
That's awesome.
Now, the women's transitional housing, there's a woman there now. She wasn't in addiction, but she was in an extremely abusive relationship.
Okay.
Financially, verbally, physically, relationship. And we have been working with her, taking her to get groceries in, see feeds, things like that. But she's in that house now.
Okay.
And there's another woman that will be moving into that house, who also went through a horribly abusive situation.
So it's not just about addiction and recovery.
No.
It's about all kinds of things.
Yes, they
Okay.
both needed a place to live that they could afford,
That's cool.
and to help them get the services they need and transition into housing. But when you, if you think about it, the trauma of living in a motel,
Yeah.
trauma of being homeless, the trauma of being abused. A lot of times these women, they go back to their abusers because they can't afford to live on their own.
Right.
And that's something you have to recover from. That's something you need time to recover from, and you need help.
And not only that, but if it's if it's something that they're used to dealing with their entire life, I mean, most of this stuff doesn't just come from an adulthood.
No.
A lot of it comes from past and childhood.
And childhood, yes.
And they see it growing up maybe, and they think that this is normal for a while, and then whatever light bulb goes off and says, "Hey, this isn't normal. You need to get some help to get out of this," and that's where you guys come into play.
And it's if you had, there could be past addictions in your family, either you or your family or someone you love,
Right.
Or if you are recovering from an addiction, things like this can send you back into active addiction.
Oh yeah.
So you want to help prevent that. You want to keep families together. You want to teach parents not to pass their trauma down to their children. So it's a cycle. You want to break that cycle.
You want to be that block.
Yes.
And stop things from going forward.
Yes, and help them break the cycle.
Yeah.
And we don't want, we don't want the stresses to send them back into addiction or addiction they've seen from their own family and think that's the answer. It's very depressing. It's like living in a cave when you live in those motels.
Because sadly, it can be a not only is it traumatic for them, but it's one of those things that it can be passed down for. They say addiction's not always genetic, but I'm not convinced
I'm
of
not
that
either. Yeah.
because you do have that potential because of what you've seen and because of the learned behavior, but also I feel like that there's that instinctual thing to go to that, whatever that addiction is.
And there's all kinds of addictions. It doesn't have to be alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
There are other addictions, and that's what Celebrate Recovery does. It helps you with any kind of addiction, habits, hang-ups, trauma, whatever you might be experiencing, it helps you with that.
Helps you get past it.
Yes. So the Binks Family Fun Run, I'm not sure when it is this year.
I know that's what I was looking. I was looking for a date on there earlier, and I didn't see
get
one.
the date. But it's advertised everywhere.
And what I'll do is I'll look it up,
Okay.
and I will remember to come back in and put it. So whenever I do my editing, because
Okay.
we all know this is pre-recorded, I'll put it up either above my head or above your head and say the date for the Binks Family Fun Run.
This is the third one,
Okay.
and the proceeds do go to help us with addiction and recovery.
That's awesome. And it says what the fun run is, an annual power boating poker run held at Lake Norman.
Yes.
So does that mean that boats are going to be involved, I guess?
All boats, power boats. And they come from all over the United States for this fun run.
That's awesome.
Just like really boats we wouldn't ordinarily, go out on the lake in.
Yeah.
So it is. And they just have everything. It's really wonderful. It's gotten bigger every year.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, you'd probably enjoy it. Just seeing the boats.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
I just want to go down there and take some video and pictures of the boats.
That would be wonderful. Because they are nice boats.
It says, let's see. So support recovery services by raising funds for Restoration Road Ministry, Inc., which provides sober living, transportation, mentoring, and recovery resources in Iredell County and surrounding areas.
Yes.
So we've talked a little bit about the sober living and the transportation. What do they do for mentoring? What
They
do you guys do for that?
There's peers, and they have to have lived experience.
Okay. So kind of like peer support.
Yes, peer support, where they've been in addiction and they're out of addiction, and so they mentor and they peer support.
Okay. I like that.
And CR, they go to CR,
which is the
Celebrate Recovery. Yes.
Okay. And then it says build community connection through a family-like gathering of boaters and supporters who come together for a meaningful cause.
Yes, and it is a very meaningful cause.
I like that.
Our house in Morrisville is called Travis House.
Okay.
And then we have another is Jillian's house. So these are people who have passed away because of addiction.
So the names are
the names
specific
are meaningful
to somebody.
Specific to somebody, and just to bring awareness.
I like that.
We have to bring awareness to this.
Right.
It's not, you cannot look at someone and dismiss them because they're addicted.
Exactly.
They are still God's children. He still loves them, and there's a reason that they're addicted. There's something in their life that they're running from. There's, like you said, learned behavior, past trauma, depression. There's all sorts of things, and they need that support.
They turn to that addiction because it was easier than
facing
dealing whatever it was that they had to deal with.
Yes.
So, and sadly, it could be any of us that fall into something like that.
It can, and that's what always I always said when I was there at Brookwood and I saw these single mothers and these children, I was a single mother. I got a divorce. My children were small. I had a support system. But there, for the grace of God, would be me.
But had you not had that support system, it
I
could
would
have
be
been
right
completely
where
different.
they were. Yes, that's where I would have been.
So, and
Yeah.
I completely understand
Yes.
where you're coming from with that.
Yes.
So,
So we all have lived experience. We all have experience with trauma.
oh yeah,
We may have experienced addiction in our families. We all have lived experience that brought us here.
Mm-hmm.
We were all broken, and God healed us, and He brought us together
that's right.
to help other broken people, so they can help other broken people.
I like it.
Yeah. So
So-
that's what we do.
So again, I know we talked about it a little bit ago,
Mm-hmm.
as far as getting in touch with you, search for Restoration Road Ministries online.
Uh-huh. Or Acts of Kindness Family.
Okay.
And my name is Denise Sharrow. So just look for my name and then go to Acts of Kindness.
I'm glad you said your last name because I've been pronouncing it wrong.
That's
the entire
okay.
time.
It's
I've been
Denise
thinking. I've been
Sharrow.
thinking it was Sharrow.
Well, a lot of people say that too, either one. I'm Southern, so I say it differently. Yeah. But that's what, you can look that up and you can see I make posts.
Okay.
I put up pictures of what we're doing and the children. We are not in this for notoriety.
Right.
We don't want our picture in the paper. Brings recognition to what we're doing.
Exactly.
To get help with the families. It's not about me. It's about them.
Right.
And
I
I
like
didn't
it.
do this. God did. This has nothing. It's nothing in me. He put that in me.
Well, and you were saying before, and it's nothing against the people that are receiving services.
No.
But whenever you ladies go out to visit somebody, they like y'all to go together.
Yes.
Which makes sense because you never know what you're going into.
No, and there could be misunderstandings.
Right.
I might say something they misunderstand.
Exactly.
So I have someone there to say what was said.
To back it up.
Yes, to back it up.
Yeah.
And it's for their safety as well as mine. They don't know me.
Exactly.
I could be anybody. So it's for everyone's protection, safety, and we work better in pairs. What she has knowledge I don't have. I have knowledge she doesn't have.
Well, and you may forget something. I mean, I trust me, I've done it several times where I'm talking to somebody and then later I leave and I'm like, oh, I should have told them this. Had I had Misty with me,
Yes.
she probably would have reminded me, hey, you were talking about this earlier. Make sure you mention it.
Yes, and she'll ask questions I don't, I might not ask.
Yeah.
So we get all of the information. We don't get it all at once. I will tell you that. It's like peeling an onion.
Well, and you've got to build that rapport.
Yes, you do. So when we deliver a meal, which Janet will tell you, we don't deliver a meal and start talking about Jesus.
Right.
We tell them, we love them. We'll pray for you. We ask, is there anything we can pray for you with?
Right.
If they say no, that's fine. We build a relationship over a series of Sundays of going there, taking them the food. The children now run up to us. They know our names.
Yeah.
The parents are happy to open the door. And then they'll start to talk to us about
They go from that
what they
questionable of who are you to, hey, welcome in.
need. Yes.
So,
That's how, we just build on a relationship. Sometimes we just deliver meals and one day they're gone.
right.
But we build on a relationship. And it's the people that God puts in our life. That's the people that He brings to us. And that's who we work with. Anybody we see, God, I feel like if they cross my path, God put them there.
I like it.
Yes.
And it's not everybody is put in your path for a reason.
Yes, they are.
It's never an accident.
No. Some are a lesson, some are a blessing.
I
know?
I like it.
Yeah.
I know. I really like that. Some are a lesson, some are a blessing.
But that's okay. I have to learn and grow.
Yeah.
And I have to tell people, I am broken. I've been through trauma. I'm broken. I'm not a perfect person. God uses broken people. He never chose perfect people. He didn't go to churches looking for disciples. He went to the streets looking for disciples. And that's where we all come from, that broken place where He picked us up. And He can do that for you too. And we still have issues and we're still broken. And He still works on us every single day.
It's okay to have those cracks.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I mean,
and sometimes they leak.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if not, the flowers wouldn't grow.
That's
So,
exactly right.
And this is kind of on that same pathway. It just made me remember I was sending out text messages one year for Christmas or Thanksgiving or something, and I had an old phone number for one of my family members, and I sent, Happy Thanksgiving, hope you're having a great day. Well, this person, whoever it was that had the phone number now, sent back and said, "Who is this?" And I was like, "Oh, is this not?" And I named my family member, and they were like, "No, I think you have the wrong number." And I was like, "Well, sorry, but have a happy Thanksgiving anyway." And they sent back and they said, "You don't know how much I needed to hear that."
That is fantastic. See, God did
So,
that.
yeah, exactly.
That was God. Yes.
And I was like, that makes me feel better that even though I didn't get to talk to the person that I was meaning to talk to, it was one of those, hey,
yes.
you needed to send this to this person and they needed to hear that. So just like you need to be where you're supposed to be.
I do. There's a lady we're working with right now, and she is recovering from addiction, and we're helping her. She has sponsors, and we're helping her be her support system, and she'll be moving into a affordable housing.
Okay.
But we had that gentleman there that was in the walker and everything, and could not get a hold of him one evening. We asked, would she go check on him? And she did. And when she did, she got to talking to everything, and she called and she said, I found my purpose.
I love it.
It made her feel so good about herself that she could help someone else, that she said she found her purpose.
And sometimes that's all you need.
Yes. It encouraged her. Yes.
That is awesome.
I know.
And now that I'm hoping she's on the
She is
path
on a
to where she
great
needs
path. She too suffered horrible abuse, and she's on an excellent path, and she is recovering.
Good.
And she's healing, and she has a good support system, and we're just all rallying around her. But she has
That's awesome.
days where she breaks down, and she
It's
wants
okay.
a purpose. She wants to help someone else, and that's what we ask her to do. That it's a simple little thing.
Yeah.
Gave her a purpose.
They gave her so much.
Mhm.
So, well, if she was watching this, I don't know you, but you can do it. Keep striving, okay?
Yes, she's
You-
grown so much.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So we're going to bring in Janet
Miss
here in just a
Janet.
few minutes.
Yes.
And we're going to find out more about what she does with her
Okay.
meals.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we've only got enough room in our podcast studio for two people, me and the guest. So we've decided to split up and we're going to continue on, but it's going to be just a small break. So we'll be back here in just a minute with Miss Janet.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
ma'am. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Community Spotlight. I am in here with Miss Janet now. We talked to Denise just a few minutes ago, and we took a small break, and now we're back in with Miss Janet. She had to find her way up here a few minutes ago, so
You're not supposed to tell that. Now, come on.
I kind of got her lost because
Okay.
I usually send out our map of the area. What I've done is just taken a screenshot of Google Maps and just drawn and put a circle on our building
Look,
because our driveway's long.
Yes, but I'm never lost. Okay, I just take detours, but I'm never lost.
You just
I
needed
eventually get there.
You needed a reason to get out and enjoy the beautiful day and walk
Exactly.
around, right?
Yes.
So, Miss Janet, Denise was telling me a little bit about that you guys cook for people. So, before we even get into that, how did you get involved with Restoration Road Ministries?
How I got involved with Restoration Road Ministries is the Lord led me to feeding families in need.
Okay.
And He called me to the families that were living in low-cost motels. So I just wanted to get involved somehow,
Right.
some way. I just wanted to serve. And so that's where, he led me. And after I began meeting the families and discovering, all they have is a microwave to cook in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like food, right? So I began just making home-cooked meals and taking them over there. And that's where I met Rob. He is an outreach ministry, and he was over there serving another family, and meeting their needs. And so it's like, well, hi, I'm Miss Janet. And he says, I know who you are. So, and when he started Restoration Road Ministry, he asked me, he said, come aboard, be a part of the team,
Okay.
I really want to support you in this. What you're doing is just awesome, and I'd like to support you in any way that you need.
Right. So you had your own ministry before you went on with Restoration Road.
Yes, I didn't really know it was a ministry. I was just doing what God called me to do.
That's
Okay.
that's the perfect ministry, though.
It is. And there was something there he was leading me to.
Yeah.
And 5 years later, I'm still doing it. And I was just blessed that, Rob Harris, came into and mentored me through outreach ministry, because it is completely, totally outreach. People are not coming
Oh, yeah.
into us. We are going to them. A lot of them with no vehicles, no way to get around, maybe walk,
Right.
To get where they need to, because taxi cabs and Ubers are really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yes, I'm so glad he came along. I'm incredibly blessed, and the ministry, it actually became a ministry,
Right.
his purpose, and it began to grow and flourish.
And you started that, I'm seeing you started that 5 years ago.
Yes.
So back in right after COVID, right after the 2020.
It began it began before that, actually. But, there's that 6 months that,
couldn't really do anything type thing.
Yes, but I still delivered meals,
Okay.
just wearing a mask, knocking on the doors and just, leaving it outdoors for
Leaving
them.
on the doorstep.
So, and families always communicate, When you do this, you're building relationships with them.
Right.
I mean, when you're there every Sunday and you're knocking on their door, with home-cooked meal, the hesitation when they first meet you, and you're there every Sunday with a smile, and just acceptance, and I brought you some lunch today. They just begin letting their walls down.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know Denise was talking about that it goes from, and we were kind of mentioning that it goes from, like you just said, you walk up that first day and they're like, who are you? What do you want? Nobody just does good anymore, And then they kind of understand as you show up weekly, oh, maybe this is somebody that's just doing good to do good.
Consistency.
Yeah. So,
yes.
and
every Sunday showing up in their life.
And she said even the kids are getting to where they'll run up to you and talk to you.
Oh, yes.
So,
hugs, and it's a beautiful thing. And these families and these children, they are so broken, Bridges have been burned, with families and with friends, and so having lived experience with that with my own grandchildren, it's in my heart to do everything and provide a family and children with everything they need to help rebuild and restore the things that are broken.
And it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
So,
and a lot of time and love.
And meals, like you were saying, is a perfect way to do that.
Yes.
Because who doesn't love a home cooked meal? And especially if you're dealing with that situation where you're living with a microwave basically, and that's what you're cooking with.
Yes.
For one, that's not the best food for kids. If it's kids, it's not the best food for any of us as adults even. But we're making that decision as adults, whereas a kid is like they're getting what's put in front of them. So there's that, and then there's the fact that you can't do but so much with a microwave.
That's right. And they don't even have a kitchen table either.
Oh wow.
Appliances, things like crock pots, flat tops, all of those things are incredibly useful, for the families.
Right.
And so they can actually begin cooking a nutritional meal if they had a crock pot, right?
Or even a hot plate, like you said.
Yes. So, things change. Just by that one simple appliance, it changes the whole dynamics for a family, living inside 4 walls. Now, think about this. As many as 2 to 8 in one room.
Wow.
Imagine.
It's tough. It's tough having the 2 to 8 people in one house.
Absolutely.
Let alone one room.
One room. 2 parents, 4 children. That's 6 right there.
Yeah.
We've got several families, that are 6 and 7 right now, So, and they're all in one room.
That's
so imagine
tough.
What that would take and do to your spirit.
Well, and you feel as a parent, you would feel like you're failing because you can't provide.
Yes.
but sometimes we all have that problem of we get behind. You have an issue, and all of us, especially in today's economy, are in that situation of one paycheck away from being in that same situation.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, this is a reality that could hit anybody at any time in their life. One crisis, one paycheck away.
Yeah.
And that's how we're living right now. You know, in today's world, so many families are living that way. And that's a scary place to be, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Because a lot of folks don't think about that. Because what would you do if you lost your home?
It'd be tough.
What would you do? Where would you go?
And you could be lucky enough to have somebody that's willing to take you in, but that's again only going to last for a small amount of time. So I mean, it's a situation that it could be. You know, you still want to be back up on your feet regardless of where you're at.
Yes,
So-
absolutely. And a lot of these families, you know, and the parents or parent, they get down, you know, and sometimes all it takes is just somebody that's being consistent in their life and showing up every week.
Yeah.
You know, and giving them encouragement, inspiration, giving them resources. Hey, it don't have to be this way, you know?
Well, and like you said, the resources, they may not know who they can get in contact to for even the food or the housing assistance or anything like that.
That's right. That's very correct. And we actually have a nice little resource packet that we put together. And this is something that we do when we're working with the families, is provide them that resource packet. So that way they've got phone numbers, days they're open, everything.
Oh, awesome.
So, and there's a little ministry in Love Valley that put that resource packet together.
You just blew my mind. I did not, and it doesn't surprise me. I know, because I grew up in the Love Valley area,
Yes.
off of Friendship Road,
Yes.
which is right up the road from Love Valley. But so I know they take care of their own people.
Yes.
And I know in the North Idle area, coming from a situation where we had a house fire, and the fact that everybody came together to get us back on our feet was just
Wonderful.
amazing.
Amen.
But the fact that they have a ministry in Love Valley,
It's
that-
called Keep Swimming.
okay,
Okay.
I like
And
it.
so, and that's that's exactly what she does, is just those resource packets. And she printed several of them up for me as well, in Hispanic as well. So
Okay.
because we have a
Yeah.
community there, that needs that information as well. So it's amazing what outreach does.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you never know. You're adding more and more people to my list that I need to contact to get them in here. So, but the steps that you guys have gone, it's not just, because I was thinking whenever I first heard about Brookwood, for instance, I was thinking that it was mostly adults that was living there. And then with Denise, she was telling me there was a lot of families.
Yes.
And whenever you say family, I'm thinking young kids up to
Yes.
adults.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
and that's not going to change just because the Brookwood is now gone.
Correct.
Y'all
No, it's not
helped
gonna
get people
change.
moved into homes. Some of them,
Yes.
for the majority of them, from what she was telling me.
Yes, and we're still, and we keep track of those families.
Good.
So, and those same children that went to Lift Our Children's youth group.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a minute.
I know that's what I was just looking at here
Yes.
was the fellowship thing.
They're still coming, because, all of these children have something in common. They have the same,
Right.
Lived life experience, and they're very vulnerable.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't, my family has grown tremendously,
It sounds like it.
so and it has.
It almost sounds like, and I don't know how it is, but whenever I was growing up, I had family that was not family. Like
Correct.
they weren't biological family, I should say.
Yes.
There's one lady that sticks out in my head because whenever we grew up, we were financially not in the best of shape. and
Understand.
the community that was there, which I wasn't here for that part. I was down in Georgia. I grew up just outside of Savannah, Georgia, until I was 8, and then we moved here. But there was a lady that was in our neighborhood that I called her Aunt Maddie.
Yeah.
And every time I went over there, regardless of what we were doing, it was come in and get something to eat.
Yes.
Whether it was a snack, whether it was, food, actual meal, whatever.
Yes.
And if my mom didn't know where we were at, we were usually at Aunt Maddie's.
She knew. Yes, absolutely.
So,
and she wasn't related to you, was she?
absolutely not. Yeah.
She was family by heart.
Not only was she not related, but we were different ethnicities even.
You were
but she was
related by
still my
heart.
aunt.
Yes, yes.
So
the heart brought, yes.
Exactly.
So, and that's wonderful that you bring that up, because these children, they create their own family unit within the community of the establishment they're living in too.
Right.
And that was a beautiful thing to see the children come together. We actually had lived at Brookwood at one time there. So for all the children that were at Brookwood.
Well, because they build that friendship and they build that relationship.
Yes. So they began their own community, and their families, kind of grew too. So relationships, it's all about building relationships and trust, right? So, and doing it in a healthy way.
Yes.
That's incredibly important.
Because you can have those relationships that are there, but not, like you said, they're not healthy.
They're not healthy.
But then you want to build those almost like a lifelong relationship.
Yes.
And
and the food is one way to do it.
Yeah.
So, nutritious, home cooked, right? So you talked about Aunt Maddie, and what about Grandma too?
Yep.
Grandma always loved to cook when the family came around, right? She made this great big spiel, right? And so everybody sat down at the table together and ate together. They prayed together as a family.
You had those big, long, homemade wooden tables with the, yes.
So doing the homemade meals, and our family's not having a kitchen table to eat off of, I wanted to give them back those memories that they had when they were growing up of being at Grandma's house.
Right.
Or at an Aunt Maddie's house, eating a home-cooked meal. There would be times the children would just sit down, in a circle, and eat their meals.
That's awesome.
So the table didn't need to be there, but the food does.
Yes.
Okay?
The food and the conversation can be there.
Yes. That fellowship. So
that's awesome. I like that. And so with that, I guess during the food part, you do the living in fellowship and truth for the children.
Yes. That's a ministry that Rob actually began 7 years ago.
Okay.
In outreach in a very vulnerable community in Statesville, unsafe community for any child to be outside and playing in. He began that ministry about 7 years ago. And he would get the children together, one evening a week on a Wednesday. And in this community, however, the crime rate is very, very high. And sadly, he lost one of his children that come to, was a part of the children's ministry, as well as 2 others that was injured during a drive-by shooting.
Oh, no.
And so Rob, reached out to the community. There was a church that opened their doors and their hearts to the children. And so it began there, at that church as an indoor, ministry, still outreach. And I met him there as well, and he asked me if I would like to take, one of the children's groups. And it's like, sure, I love children, And so it's funny how it just all happened. That happened. And then about a year later, Restoration Road Ministry, he founded Restoration Road Ministry. And, Lift continues.
I like it.
It's never stopped. That's when it became Lift,
Okay.
is when Restoration Road Ministry was born. And so,
I see as slow as I am sometimes, I see the acronym now.
I'm
It took
sorry.
me a second. I see. I was wondering why it was called Lift, and then I just happened to look down and I saw Living in Faith and Truth.
Yes,
It makes sense.
Living in fellowship and truth.
Okay.
Yes. So the children, at that time, I was doing the meals, and he said, Janet, why don't you bring the children in from the motels?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, sure.
Never thought about it.
Never thought about that, right? So, and it's continued ever since.
That's
so,
cool.
and those same children are still with us today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And even though they're no longer obviously in that motel because it's been torn down,
Yes.
do you guys still go and kind of help them get to, or they find ways to get to this?
Actually, Rob, that was a little situation that we had, because it's like, how are we going to get them,
Right.
But somebody donated a van to him
That's awesome. Like a big
for the
15
ministry.
passenger style van?
Yes, a
Okay.
transport van. So boom, God provided.
Hey.
So yeah, we go pick the children up, take them home.
That's awesome.
And we want to extend out and to the other motels.
Right.
And because those children are there too, and those families are in the same need.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to extend this to all of them. So at one point we had 40 children, plus 10, volunteers on a Wednesday night. And then now we're at about 25, 24.
Okay.
And we are wanting to extend out and reach out to the other children and families, living in the other motels.
Right. Give them the same hope and the same
Yeah, that's right.
future.
Delivering meals.
Yeah.
So we're looking for more volunteers.
Okay. So how can, since you're talking about that and since you brought that up, how can somebody get in touch to volunteer for that?
So you can reach us. We actually have a Facebook page, Restoration Road Ministry.
Okay.
So you can go through Facebook. We are actually, you can Google us, Restoration Road Ministry of Statesville,
Okay.
and it'll take you straight to our page. You can contact Rob Harris through there,
Okay.
So everything that you will need, you will find right there. And he's such a good mentor. He gets in touch with us immediately. He wastes no time. He's my executive director, by the way, too. So
Now I've heard of Rob's name throughout the community a little bit. Whenever,
I'm sure you have. Yes.
maybe a time or two.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
But this is awesome. It's like I was telling Denise. I love, and I was telling you a little bit ago too. There was something about your card that stuck out to me, and I felt like I needed to contact y'all and get your word out, and that's
Thank you.
exactly why I did that.
Thank you so much.
So I'm glad you ladies came in today.
Thank you, Ron. I was scared to death, so I'm glad I got lost and had to take a walk around the block to find you.
It made you take a minute to just relax and
Yes.
and enjoy the beautiful day.
And it made me laugh, too, right?
Exactly.
So laughter is always good.
It's always the best medicine,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So,
I do got to share with you, though, there's many people in the community that support us in this.
that's awesome.
So, without Yoke Fellow,
Love Yoke
our
Fellow.
partners at Yoke Fellow, our partners at Salvation Army,
Mhm.
and Lieutenant April.
I need to get her in here.
Yes, you do.
She's another one. I love Miss-
incredible, amazing.
She came on a few weeks ago with one of our other programs, and I've been needing to call her, and I just haven't had a chance. And now that you've said her name again, I'm going to write it down in there so I remember to call
Very
her.
good. She is fabulous in what she's doing for the community.
Yes.
And we all work together. We're all involved in outreach in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form, and we all support one another. So in Mount Air, they've come aboard
Okay.
as well, and supporting and providing fresh chicken.
Yeah.
to cook and make the homemade meals with. So
That's
got
awesome.
to give them a shout out too.
Because you can't do, I mean, you can, but it's going to run you dry if you just do it out of your own pocket every day for everything that you do.
Look, I'm on
So,
fixed income.
I know. And that's not,
and we depend on the community, and we do for funding.
yeah,
We're all volunteers. We do not, this is why this ministry works. None of us receive a paycheck. Everything that anyone does.
which is the way to me a true ministry should be.
Yes,
I mean, yes, you
agree.
need to somehow make a living, but you don't need to be making it off of the donations that are coming to help other people like that.
Correct.
So,
I'm grateful that that God's chose me
yeah,
to do this, and that I've got this time in my life to do this, and to serve His children.
He's put you there for a reason.
Yes, absolutely. His purpose.
Yeah,
And by the way,
I like that.
He has a purpose for all of us.
That's right. I like that.
Hmm.
So, thank you so much. You and Denise
Ron.
both. I have enjoyed this. It's been about an hour. I've enjoyed it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and learning about what Restoration Road does and how connected everything is. It's not just one thing.
Yes.
So, thank you again for coming in to
Thank
see
you
us.
so much, Ron.
So-
I've truly enjoyed this, and I hope it inspires others out there. If you want to serve, just do it.
Yeah,
God will lead you to where He wants to put you.
exactly.
But just do it. No matter if it's just cooking a meal or serving a meal, or no matter what He puts on your heart to do, just do it.
That's
okay?
right. I like it. Well, we're going to end right there. That's awesome. Thank you guys for joining us again for Community Spotlight, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.